Right now is the perfect time to check out Western Rise. With spring and summer here, this is the perfect chance for you to get your hands on something like their boundless shorts, which are water resistant, so you can wear them all day out to the cafe and then take them into the jacuzzi or pool or any kind of swimming activity you want because they're that versatile. Or my personal favorite, a merino t-shirt or long sleeve shirt because they can go farther and last longer. So check out Western Rise, use discount code ODIE, that's ODIE, to get 15% off your entire order. Help my channel out with a little bit of kickback and get your hands on some wonderful clothing for your outdoor festivities this spring and summer season. Western Rise, discount code ODIE, and that's it. On with the video. Hey everyone, my name is Odie Matthews and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're gonna look at a bag that has an interesting concept and definitely a unique design, but maybe doesn't hold up everywhere else. This is the Cyber Backpack. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to say up front is that I reached out to Cyber Backpack on Instagram after I saw them pop up on my TikTok. Saw the design and the concept of the bag was pretty interesting and thought it might be worth sharing with you guys. However, my bag came with some defects. Now, as far as I can tell, looking through reviews on their site and interactions on Instagram, nobody else has seemed to have raised this issue or concern or had this problem. So I can't say for 100% certainty that the bags won't come with defects, because sometimes that just happens regardless of who the brand is or what the factory is. Sometimes they just come with defects. So I just want to point that out, that my bag did in fact come with them. I'm not saying every bag does, but I feel like I need to point this out up front, and I will point out the defects as we move through. Okay, so the first thing I want to say up front about this bag is the look. Obviously, this bag has a very unique aesthetic, being modeled after the Cybertruck, and I feel like that's really what this bag is aimed for. That's who this bag is aimed at. People who like this aesthetic and want this aesthetic in their backpack, this bag is going to be for you. If you care more about the function of a bag than the look, then I think that this bag might not be right for you, because when it comes to function on this bag, it does not have nearly as much as other bags that I've covered, and there's gonna be some things when it comes to this pack that some people, it's gonna be a turnoff for. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to this bag are the zippers. So as far as I can tell, they're not YKK and they are not weather guard. However, they are TSA lockable, so you can set a code and have lockable zippers. The other zipper on this bag is the expansion. Yes, if you didn't guess or if you didn't know, this bag actually has some expansion capabilities, which I'm going to get into when we get into the main compartment of this bag, because the expansion is minimal but does provide a little extra room depending on what you want to use this bag for. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of this pack. So here is where, if you're doing the portable charger that this thing offers, this is where you would plug in your USB. Here's the back panel on this bag. So not a bad air channel. It also has a luggage pass-through, as well as a nice secret compartment here for like passports, boarding documents, anything you want to secure a little bit more. Not terrible straps, however, I would like to see these be a little bit beefier. They feel a little lackluster in terms of comfort, and they're definitely pretty thin. And I think if you pack this bag out pretty heavy, you would start to notice these cutting into your shoulders just a little bit. But definitely easy to adjust, and they stay adjusted thanks to this nice little mechanism here. Once you get it where you want it, you can just push this down, and once you want to adjust it, you just lift it up, which honestly is a pretty easy thing to do. Okay, then you have the top handle here, which is the only place to grab on this bag. And this is where my first defect came in. This little chip or peel back or peeling on the handle was what I noticed was wrong with it. But overall, not a terrible handle. It stays up against the bag, and then if you get your fingers under it, there's a little bit of give. I wish it was a little bit easier to find it, because if you were in a hurry, you'd have to go in like full clamp style instead of just sliding in. But overall, not a bad handle. Although I would say with the design of this bag, you could get away with any other handle on this bag somewhere, just so you'd have another point to grab it, whether you're stowing it underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Okay, then you have the bag when it's open, which is like this. And the first thing is the laptop compartment. Now, what is the most surprising about this bag is, given the durable shell on it, the laptop compartment has no padding whatsoever on the bottom. So be extremely careful when putting your laptop in or setting this bag down, as any sudden drops, hard drops, anything like that could potentially damage your laptop. Because if I go in here, I can feel my table, and there is not anything in between my hand and the table. So a little bit of padding there would be nice. Now the laptop compartment in front of it, however, does have a key thing as well, but also does not go all the way down to the bottom, so a little bit of protection there. Very long key lanyard that if you wanted to, you could throw your keys in. This works really well with the two mesh guys here at the front for extra organization. Then here in the middle, you have a zippered flat compartment. This would be good for like documents, wallet, phone, keys, things like that, maybe if this was your carry-on bag. And then as for the front of the bag, you just have this one little compartment here and then an open chasm. So this is where I want to take a moment and talk to you about the expandability. So the issue I have with the expansion on this bag is the way it is set up. This front part is where the expansion really should be, because that's where the outline, the hard shell is, and that's where you'd want to put your items, especially if you were using it for travel. However, the expansion only is for the side that the laptop is on. So if you did want to expand, anything you put in would not be covered by the hard shell, which is one of the selling factors of this bag, is the fact that it has a durable shell. It is very rugged and rough and can be put through a lot. However, if you use the expansion, nothing you put in that expansion compartment will really be that protected underneath, which is just a little disappointing, but I can see that with the way this bag is designed, it would be hard to expand a metal case, but maybe just make this a little bit bigger, and that might solve the issue. But when it comes to the expansion, you still do have that opportunity, which does give you a little extra room if you wanted to put more clothing or items with you. And then the other complaint that I have with this bag is the materials on the inside. I can't find a lot of information on the materials on the inside of this bag. Actually, I couldn't find any on their website, just what the outer materials were. But I have a feeling they're not the best quality. These feel very Amazon baggy, very cheap. These look like the same zippers on an Amazon bag that I did in my episode of cheap versus expensive. And a lot of this material feels similar to those bags that I did in those cheap versus expensives. Now, the reason I point this out and want to be completely candid with you is this bag right now on sale is $220. And I'm saying that these materials feel just like some of the bags that I bought for $40 or $50. Now, I understand there's a lot that goes into creating a bag and the cost of a bag, but at a price point at $220, I would like to see a little bit of an upgrade when it comes to the internal materials and hardware, because these zippers have a very cheap feel, and this material feels like it could honestly rip at any time. And that's how I feel when I open this bag, is it feels like this that holds it together could easily rip, and I don't want that when it comes to a bag like this. Okay, and then the last two things in here is this guy right here is your water bottle pocket. Because of the design of this bag on the outside, there is no exterior water bottle pocket. Then the last thing is this over here, which is where you would plug in your power bank. Now, this is where my second defect comes in. On my USB charger, when I got it, it was completely smashed and I could not use it. Now, it does come with a type USB-C right here, so other power banks that I have would work, but unfortunately the one that comes with the pack would not, as it only has a USB for going out. So kind of the main thing about this bag and the main selling feature I wasn't able to test out because my cable was broken. So these are my thoughts on the Cyber backpack. Again, I think that certain people, if you like the look and you like the aesthetic and the organization, the lack of organization on the inside and the lack of organization on the outside, or water bottle pocket on the outside, which I've reviewed plenty of bags that have no water bottle pocket organization on the outside. It's not a deal breaker, but for some people it is, and that is understandable. So if those things don't matter to you and you like the look of this bag, go for it. Especially if it's gonna be for office work, yeah, this is the bag for you. Again, I think my defects were a very unique situation, because I looked as much as I could before I made this video to make sure I was being accurate and that there wasn't a bunch of other people that had this problem. As far as I can tell, I'm the only one, so I just want to point that out again, just to point it out again. But overall, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Cyber backpack, let me know down below and I'll do my very best to answer those for you. You can always shoot me an email, like I said, odiematthewsbags@gmail.com, where you can ask for a list, advice, anything that you want to see, photos, videos, whatever it might be. Hit me up over there. Thank you guys again so very much for all the love and support you continue to give this channel. It means the absolute world to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all of that wonderful nonsense. And with all of that being said, I will see you next time.